Welcome back to GBGuns Armory. Had to wait for the camera to get in focus there. And another episode, this is episode 6, where we're looking back through guns that we've already reviewed, giving some afterthoughts, and bringing up discussion points that some of those might have inspired. Got a lot to cover. I'm kind of just grabbing them off the wall as we go. And today's topic are the Sky pistols. Mocked by many, misunderstood by many, and I don't think all the criticism is worth it. So if you're not familiar with the Sky pistols, most people think of the CPX line, like this guy. This is a 9mm. These are super affordable, 10, maybe 12 round, I can't quite recall. 9mm and 380 guns. The 380s are super pleasant. The 9mm is a little bit snappy, but they are incredibly affordable guns. Modular, you can change out the grip panels on them. They were doing that long before it even became really a thing. And they're double action only. So what that means is it's hammer fired. There's an internal hammer in here. And as I pull the trigger, it's going to bring the hammer all the way to the rear and release it. It's a long, relatively heavy trigger pull that some people say is terrible and makes it hard to shoot well. We've already proven that wrong in our full reviews of the guns and shot great groups with these things. The benefit to it is you've got that much play. Yeah, I did trip it on one of them before it goes off. So for an inexperienced or newer shooter, it provides some safety when it comes to defensive shooting. When it comes to the range, yes, that's time when anxiety builds up and you get some nervousness and makes things difficult. But if you can learn a double action and to break it like that without the gun moving, you can shoot pretty much anything well. And it's something that's super easy to do, especially with how affordable these things are. They come in, I want to say, at least 8 different colors, all kinds of different colors. Even Hunter Orange, Blaze Orange, which at SHOT Show I saw one time and I was like, is that really a thing? Do people really choose that for a carry gun? And they said, yes, it's quite popular actually. Not necessarily for concealed carry, but for hunters and fishing men. Because it can be in their rig, it's a lightweight, something to have out in the woods, and if it falls in the creek, you can see it easy. Falls in the grass, you can see it easily with that orange color. But the only experiences I've had with them have been magazine related, and Sky is quick to replace the magazines, and it comes with either 3 or 4 mags in the gun. But if you get a bad one, they're quick to give you a replacement one. The other complaint that I heard was for that double action trigger. And in the striker fire world, folks are a little bit nervous about that. So then, Sky came out with the DVG. This guy here, optics ready, striker fired version of it. It's a little harder to rack because you have to arm the striker, whereas on the double action, it's super easy to rack because if you're not moving, you don't have to depress the mainspring. The striker fired trigger, if we get some focus there, is our wall. Moderate travel and break, not terrible at all. Reset about midway, but brings you back to the wall to travel through and break. Again, an appropriate trigger for a newer shooter. Where I think complaints might have come from, and let me know what you guys think on these, is because these are super affordable, I think they can often be a choice for a brand new shooter or someone who needs a gun but doesn't necessarily want a gun. I could see that as a motivation factor for choosing almost the cheapest thing you could find. And that person probably doesn't have a big background in how to handgun. Handgunning is much harder than shooting a rifle. It requires more skill, more discipline. You got to be aware of more things. And so you take the more challenging of the shooting disciplines and you make it super affordable and you give it to somebody who's new, and then they have a bad time, I think partially of their own accord. No fault of their own, but lack of knowledge, because these things have been good to me. They're nothing magical. I wouldn't put them out there as like the top gun, and I'm not going to run to a local competition with one. But at the same time, I'd have no problem having one as a truck gun or a camping gun, a hiking gun, that kind of thing, because it is portable and it's affordable to replace if lost. The magazines were the only issue, like I said. The 380 versions are super soft shooting because of the Roebuck quad lock. It's a lock breech 380. Most 380s are blowback. And unlocking that breech, that action, costs some recoil energy. So when you do that on a 380, you get an even softer shooting gun, which is pretty cool. But what do you guys think? Are you in the crowd that mocks these? Have you never tried one? What have you heard about them? And what's your real experience been? Because I can tell you, I've heard lots of nasty things. I've got, I think 4, maybe 5 different models of Sky pistols. And aside from a couple magazine issues, takedown's a little bit different. You got a double action trigger on the hammer fired guns. But with the DBG, that's gone. And they're red dot ready for a micro footprint dot. So affordable. Micro or subcompacted. It's about the same size as a lot of the micro compacts, and the funny thing is they've been this way for years. It just wasn't the hip thing at the time. But let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks for joining us in the Armory, and tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this, will be another video as we make our way through looking at what's been reviewed and talking about the concepts that they bring up. Thanks for watching.